Hey folks, how you doing out there? Welcome to another Drink and a Wink info review and a little Peatober special. I'm kicking my more adventurous, or well, maybe I should say lengthy. I guess the kids say epic these days. Oh, there's nothing worse than saying what the kids say, because the kids don't say it and no one says what the kids say. Let's get off of that one. Anyway, where I can be talking about some peated whiskeys, mostly Scotch for the time being, and I've been threatening to do some more of our more famous ones like Laphroaig and Lagavulin, but the big three in my mind, Laphroaig, Lagavulin, and Ardbeg, we have 2 or 3 bottlings to cover, and I wanted to give you a little more information on that. So tonight, home early. I think this is as early as I've been home in a long time. Had a gig that ended early. It was great playing with Mark and John, doing a little trio gig for, I think, a wedding. It was all booked through our friend Mike. Also want to see if he happened to tune in. I know he's busy, wishing the family good health. But anyway, we were playing a gig, and I got back early, and early enough to do a little feature. And what we're going to talk about today is something a little different. We have started this Peatober talking about whiskeys that are known for being peated. We've already talked about some different ones. Kalila, the Choraveg. I don't know what else we talked about. What else did we talk about, Michelle? We got plenty to talk about, and I'm going to talk about some more. It's weird. I have to get going on this Peatober if this is the 11th, because we have a lot of brands we can talk about, and I keep on waiting because, like I said, most of the other ones I'm going to talk about, Kilchoman and Laphroaig, we have multiple bottles to talk about. So anyway, so I come at maybe tomorrow I'll do more advanced one if I get a little time to do some rereading and some note taking. Today we're going to talk about one of them that is a different kind of concept, where a Scotch distillery that doesn't generally do peated whiskey decides to put out a special peated and peated blend. It's a lot of fun, and we'll talk about that. So we're going to change it up a little bit. If you happen to notice, this might be the first Drink and a Wink. What do you think, Michelle? What's different about this Drink and a Wink? Yes, this is the first one that I think I've ever done where I am clean shaven. I've been walking around the neighborhood here. We live in the war-torn neighborhood of Albany Park in Chicago, and walking amongst the rubble, I'm suddenly starting to be, as I walk down the street with my questionable facial hair, I'm starting to see a lot of the neighbors in this area checking me out to make sure that I am not ICE or some other authority. And, ICE doesn't really have authority. But anyway, and I have to kind of give them a look like, you know what, I'm not going to make an extrajudicial arrest right now. I'm your neighbor. And I'm going to go, yeah, hi.
Looking at you, is that how you read that?
What?
From looks? That's what you read?
Well, it's more than, hey, you walking through the neighborhood and me are very different. So I decided to, in solidarity of, and then to not look like every out of shape, puffy, wasn't eligible for any draft warrior in the ICE crew, I decided to shave it off. So it might come back. Anyway, back to whiskey. And if you don't like those commentary, there's plenty of other online sources. You can listen to whiskey and have a bunch of bozos talk to you, none of which have even talked to a woman as beautiful as my wife. There you go.
What is happening tonight?
I don't know. You know what? I'm changing it up. All right? It's my platform. You know it. You don't like it? Go find your own platform. All right? There you go. Anyway, back to whiskey. Scotch Irish whiskey, okay? Scotch Irish whiskey. Now I'm also on. I'm like, no, nothing America tonight, all right? Still love the country. Just, yeah. All right, anyway, right? We're proud. Neither of us are veterans, right?
No.
Did both of our parents serve?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. All right. Hopefully we've lost the rabble by now. All right, anyway, we're going to talk about Arran. The Isle of Arran has a distillery on it called the Lacranza distillery. It is in the town of Lacranza. And they produce Arran single malt. Now, the Arran single malt, this is their core range, bottom of the barrel, the number 10. There's no peat anywhere near this stuff. And we've had it for a long time. It was a real, it's kind of a favorite maybe about 5-6 years ago, as it was kind of one of the newer distilleries. The distillery just had its 30th birthday. It was founded by Harold Curie, who was a former director of Chivas and a D&aW vet, and he decided that he wanted to put a distillery on the Isle of Arran. Isle of Arran, you can look it up on the map, is in that Campbelltown area, just east, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, different island. Kind of cool. We're going to drink this first, right, Michelle? You're drinking a little bit of it, right? And I forget how tasty this is. This is just right down the middle. Good, old-fashioned, not peated, single malt Scotch whiskey. Right?
Yes, it is.
You want to show them this glass? We got these glasses, or I got these glasses for a little gift. You can put your hand in, from Christy and Casey. Look at those. Those are really phenomenal. Love it. We've been using them a lot. So the Arran whiskey, we haven't covered it because it's just right down the middle. It'd be like covering a really good. It's not old. It's not any different, or it's not old, or it's just so straight down the middle that it's just very, very tasty. Lots of nuttiness, lemon, vanilla, a little bit oaky, more controlled, and more. The oak does not get overpowering like maybe some space sides that are a little cheaper. The Isle of Arran, let's see if it's bottled at natural colored, non-chill filters. That's what puts us above some of the lower priced 10-year-olds from, Glenmorangie, and well, now they're 12 years, but you get the picture. It's a really high quality small distillery that puts out a wonderful product. I'm not lying when I say that. I was just checking this book, the Clay Risen Single Malt Guide to Whiskeys. I don't know how many years old this is, but he on a 5-star rating, and there are maybe it's a 4-star rating. I don't even know. I should read the book. He gives just the 10-year-old a 3. Okay, I don't see any 5 stars in here. So he gives the 10-year-old right there where's the 10-year-old? Right there. He gives it a 3. So if you are, scores, I'm never going to drink a peated whiskey in your life. I'm just looking for a good single malt Scotch whiskey recommendation. And I don't like peat. I don't like smoke. I want this just right down the middle. Go get yourself a bottle of Arran 10. The packaging has changed now since this one. This is kind of the old packaging. We've had this bottle a while. And another note to just high quality, this is not faded away in flavor at all, right, Michelle?
Right.
In the bottle, it is great. So then a few years ago, I'm trying to think, 2011 plus 9. This actually, we've had this a while now. Well, actually, I don't know when it was bottled in 21, and I don't know when we bought it. But so then it came along that we were going down to our favorite downtown liquor store, Warehouse Liquors, and I had seen online that they had Arran. They had a 9-year-old, maybe it was a 8-year-old actually, unpeated, but Private Cask at a high proof, and then they had this peated 9. Michelle decided to be adventurous when we were there, and I asked her, which one can I buy? I mean, not asking for permission, but would she be okay with the peated one? And she said, go ahead and get the peated one. And I'm very happy about that, all right? So it's sometimes interesting. I will tell you about these bottles and these brands that don't normally peat their whiskey, but will give these special offerings. We don't know per se where they're getting their peated barley from. Obviously they're not doing it there at the distillery. They'll buy some malted barley that has already been peated, most likely. And if I'm wrong, please somebody let me know. This is a real nice bottling. Again, it's all going to be natural. It's exclusively bottled for. What the funny thing is here on the label, though, most times when you get like, especially bourbon, and you're getting a special bottling for a store or something like that, and a lot of that is turning, especially in American whiskey, is kind of turning into nonsense too. Exclusively bottled for Liquor Warehouse. They put the warehouse liquor backwards and they call it Liquor Warehouse. This was cask in at 2011. It was distilled in 2011, and it was bottled in 21. Okay, there you go. January 1st in 21. This is a U.S. exclusive. You can still find this, maybe not. All right, but I'm just telling you. Here's the thing about adventure. Maybe give you a little notes on this. On the nose, just the very nice rounded. Well, how do you describe that one? I had described it pretty good, right? Vanilla, little nutty, little spicy, little fruity, but apple. There's not a lot of.
Something else I'm trying to,
Okay.
some shavings or something.
A little bit. Okay, that's usually a kind of an oak note or a cedar. That's interesting. Let me see if I can.
Cedar.
I get it. Yeah, you're right, especially on the empty. Let's go to the Arran 9. So this is 1 year younger. Probably the same distillate. We'd imagine there's more sherry added to this. This is also bottled at 56%. So this is a big blaster in terms of whiskey. On the nose, there is some smoke there, especially if you get a big snoot full. The nose is not overly seaside and seaweed. It's more, it's not barbecue either. It's kind of like barbecue isn't even isn't really the best word, because barbecue has like a sweet, that's usually you're thinking of sauce, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
Let's think grilled. Yeah, there's a mustard scent in there. So if you imagine, again, that doesn't smell like hot dogs, but if you're grilling some kind of sandwich, then you would put mustard on there. That reaction, sandwich, grilling hamburgers, hot dogs, something like that. There's a mustard note to this. A little bit of banana peel, ripe banana. Wait, what am I doing? You can taste or smell. Am I eating this?
What?
You just whipping this up out of nowhere. Pretty good. Pretty good, but now it's gonna. What do you got? Anything on the nose on that one?
I think that smells some of the banana you were talking about.
Okay. You like it?
I do like it, actually.
Okay. So that's another one that a peated whiskey that Michelle can go for. I'm gonna go for the taste. This is really, really good. I'm astounded by this. I think it's really, really good in that it's not overly seaweed and sardini and that kind of note, right?
No, it's not.
It's just, but it's not barbecue either. It's not like meaty. It's definitely. Well, I would guess that this is maybe shipped down from the Highlands. If I say Highland peat to you, you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about if you don't know the differences in peats. It's just kind of, a grilled something. Something that's been on the grill to me.
Caramelization comes from the grill.
Mm-hmm. There's a note. Yeah. So this is not, this is just very unique peated whiskey. In terms of other, well, I'm going to just let you know what we own. There's a couple other distilleries that put out Yeah, are traditionally non-peated distilleries that put out a peated variety. Boonhaven puts one out, which I will talk about later. And the other one is Balvenie, the big Balvenie, who's well known for ex-bourbon and ex-sherry cask kind of bottling, plus their rum cask. They put out a peat week, and now I think it's called Week of Peat, something like that. They'll experiment with that. I like the Balvenie Peat Week a whole lot, and I think Michelle bought that for me at my birthday a long time ago. The Boonhaven one, I'm not a huge fan of. This is better than both of them. Really tasty stuff. Yeah, there's just like a did you get that mustard note?
I didn't get that as much. At least not strong.
Yeah, it's not really even in the taste. It's more in the let me do one more here now that I've kind of rinsed my palate of the delicious little bean salad that Michelle gave me. Is that what you call that?
A dense white bean salad.
A dense white bean salad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It actually has bean on it.
Some people call me that.
A dense white bean. Bean salad.
A dense white bean salad. Them's the jokes, folks. You know? If you got mad about my political rant a little earlier, I don't care. Go away. If you didn't like that last joke, you know what? Stick around. I'm not going to promise you they'll get better, but I'm doing my best. Anyway, I'm turning red now because that was embarrassing. Dense white bean salad. You know what? There's a little dense white bean salad in this whiskey. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, maybe that mustard thing isn't quite right. Yeah, the banana, you know what? Let's just go with it. A little grilled banana, huh? How's that sound? Can you do that?
Yes, we could grill banana.
Okay.
Or plantain.
Yeah, that's it. Then maybe you did a little too much. Or maybe there was, here, ready? You're grilling plantains. You grilled a hot dog already, and you left a little too much of the char on the grates of the grill.
Oh, boy.
I can't be more specific than that. And perhaps more right. This is just a fascinating bottle. You're making a little bit of an experiment using some peated barley. Like I said, I'm assuming, I don't know enough about Arran to know if they're... I don't think Arran, just one distillery, has their own malting floor. I'm pretty sure not. I should know. So, they're getting their malted barley from somewhere. I don't know where they got the peated part of this, or if this is all peated. It doesn't seem like it's all peated, but again, I could be totally wrong. Again, limited editions like this, U.S. exclusives, they're not going to give you every little, nuance of notes here. This is just a wonderful little bottling. Yeah. But overall here, I think my idea as I try to get in here before the 20-minute mark is, this is again the fascinating stuff that I just want to touch on. There's so many different varieties, and again, I love this stuff because they're not throwing stuff in there. It's careful planning. You have a wonderful product and a wonderful unpeated distillate, and again, they must be doing something. I know they're distilling it there. It has to be the case for it to be a single malt. And here we go. We're going to use a little bit different, but we're going to maintain our quality. And it's like a foundation. This is as high a quality as you can get. Lay that down. Bring in a little experiment, and it's just all very well balanced, and it's just very, very tasty. Bad news. Bad news. This is one of the companies, I don't know if it's because it's small or whatever, smaller. I don't know if they have a bigger distributor, but this is one that has crept up to unfortunately, prices that are a little too high for what it is. I hate to say that, unfortunately. Right now, the Arran 10 is around $70, and that's a little steep, okay? You know, this, I don't think we bought this at $60 even. But, you know, I will definitely tell you that at $70, it's beating some other 12-year-olds at that same price by bigger names. So if you, you know, just are watching this and you're like, you know, he talks about the single malt Scotch whiskey a lot. I really want to get a good quality, but not, you know, super, super expensive. Just a good core range one that's a perfect example of regular, good old-fashioned Scotch whiskey at a high, single malt Scotch whiskey, high quality level. There you go. It's Arran 10. Go for it. I kind of check the ABV. You know, occasionally that will change. So what is putting this? Why would I not buy a Glenfiddich 10 or 12 or a Glenmorangie 10 or 12 or both any double wood, which is actually almost the same price now? This is non-chill filtered, no colorant added. This is bottled at 46%. I'm going to recommend that all day. But for Peatober, we're going to talk about the Arran 9. If you are like big char heads that love the really smoky Laphroaig and Ardbegs, and maybe even, let's go with those two. And you like the younger ones because they're really punchy and they're really almost challenge whiskey, this isn't for you. This is for the person that likes Lagavulin and wants to try something a little different, all right? And wants to go off the island of Isla and try something else. If you can find this, I can tell you very well, don't be scared off by the weird age. The peated whiskey, this again was also, I've mentioned this before, this was a trend of in the last maybe 10 to 8 years, maybe 5 years, of whiskeys, single malt Scotch whiskeys trying to get into that trend of, hey, you know, the peated whiskey kind of scares some people. Hey, you know, it goes along with like Scoville units for peppers and all these other things. Not that they're trying to make stuff that's completely challenged, but the old school idea was that we aged peated whiskey for a long time, it would mellow out, and then they put out then different distilleries like Ardbeg's Wee Beastie and the Lagavulin 8, and Ardbeg has some no age statement ones. They're trying to get it really extremely smoky and punchy, and Arran decided to put this out at 9 years old. It is not wild. This is a very refined. Would you agree, Michelle? There's nothing wild and crazy about this. I mean, you have to like peat a little bit, but this isn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't taste too young, is what I'm saying, right?
Too young?
Yeah, young.
Oh, young.
Yes.
No, it doesn't taste.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't taste too young, and it's not. There you go. Arran, single malt Scotch whiskey, private cask, 9-year-old. I hope you can find it if I've intrigued you. If you can't, I know you're going to find Arran 10s. Also, Arran is very well known for being one of our better finishing single malt Scotch whiskeys. Our whiskey distilleries. They do a port one. They get maybe not as adventurous as say Glenallachie, but they have a very great reputation for having some interesting approaches with finishing. All right, folks, I'm going to bring you something that you've kind of heard of before soon. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm getting out relatively early tomorrow. Maybe I'll fire up the Laphroaig one or the Ardbeg. I haven't decided yet, and bring you a couple of those. Really enjoyed having you, and I know that, yeah, sorry to start that off a little. No, I'm not. We're just really, you know, I'm sick of kind of saying, well, yeah. I'm going to do that on my terms, all right? I'm kind of sick of having to be told, like, who I have to think is a hero and who I have to do this and what this and all that. You know what? The biggest thing that's bothering me right now is I remember a time when I didn't have to think daily about what is going on in this country on a daily basis, all right? If you were doing that during the Biden administration or the Obama administration, I have no idea what you were concerned about, all right? because other than maybe having to pay some taxes, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, in the meantime, I'm going to drink all the whiskey I can and enjoy it before our health insurance premiums go up 400%. All right, folks, I'm done. See ya. Love you. Have a good one. And enjoy whiskey. Okay?